Welcome to Building Your T-Shirt Empire, powered by ShirtAgency.com. Get ready to take a trip inside the apparel industry for the best tips, tricks, and interviews. And now, here's your host, Cole Lundstrom.
In this episode, I have Nate Goff. He owns a print shop that's been growing really rapidly, and he's been in some really great retail stores like Forever 21 and Zumiez. So I talked to him about how he's growing so quickly and how he's finding such good clients. And then, of course, we talk a little bit about shop. So enjoy the episode. He's a really good up-and-coming screen printer.
All right, so my name's Nate Goff. I am the owner of Fresh Manufacturing. We're located in Southern California. I've been printing since I've been 15 years old. I'm 25 now, so the last 10 years has just been trial and error, trying to find out what works and what doesn't work, and how to find, new outlets of different clients and different ways to expand my knowledge, with the same equipment that I have, trying to buy new equipment, expand the knowledge, with better equipment, and trying to just constantly, reinvent the wheel and try and find what works for us, what's, more beneficial, what's more productive, what's better for our clients. We do a lot of broker printing, so, every little margin counts.
Yeah, for sure. You started young. Did you learn like at a high school class, or did you just wing it?
Nah, dude, that's actually the craziest thing, is because I have, family members. My dad told me he took a screen printing class in high school. My mom took a screen printing class in high school. Like, they were forced to take this, and it was called like graphic arts. Yeah. My high school never had anything like that. There was never anything for the kids who wanted to be, I was selling shirts out of my backpack at 14. I had a business license at 16, and they were trying to kick me out of school for selling shirts.
You were just raw hustle.
Yeah, I would get shirts printed direct to garment offline for as cheap as I could. It cost me probably $15, $20 to get the shirt printed, and I'd sell them for 25, 30, just to make a few bucks and kind of get my name out there. And before I knew it, I had enough money to invest into a press, one color printing in my room. I remember I had a party and invited like every kid that I knew. Was like, man, I made 100 T-shirts. I was like, if I could sell them for $10 a piece, I could make enough money to get myself a small press. And I sold 100 shirts in one night. So
sweet.
Kind of, got it going from there. I realized that there was a niche market in T-shirts and that everyone needs one.
There's a whole bunch of adults that have owned brands for a year and they can't do 100 sales in a night.
Yeah, it was just luck of the draw, man. I made the same logo. It was one color, black ink, on every different color blank gilding I could get my hands on.
So what are you...
just tried to...
it looks like you're crushing it now. You've got one auto or two autos?
I have one automatic and two manuals.
What auto did you buy? Did you buy an M&R?
Yes, I did.
Cool. How do you like the M&R?
I like it. It's a gauntlet. The press is a little bit older. It's not a brand new press, so it doesn't have all the bells and whistles. No tri-locking system, no laser registration, nothing like that. But with the experience that we have, we make it work.
So who are you printing for that's getting you those big orders? Because some of your stuff's going to some of the big retailers, right?
Yeah, just to name drop a few, we've done orders for Forever 21. We've fulfilled orders for Zumiez. Just to name a few, those are, more towards like the streetwear style, which I kind of like to say that's like my niche market. Since I started doing brands, that's kind of where I like to keep my business, rather than, most people, like my local print shops that are around here, like our competition would be the guys who go for the school accounts or, do printing for the city or stuff like that. Us, we tend to, pride ourselves more off the individual brands being able to bring people's reality or, their designs to reality on a T-shirt or, whatever substrate they require, really.
Yeah, well, that's cool. Yeah, we're kind of similar where we won't reject like a high school or a church, but we basically don't do those jobs at all.
Yeah, same here. I would never reject, any type of work that came in here unless it was just artwork that we cannot make happen, which, having direct to garment, that really that really widens our spectrum on, people that want the 10 t-shirts or the 20 t-shirts, but they want them with 8 colors, 10 colors. So we really have that, those options that the direct-to-garment really opened those doors for us.
Yeah, for sure. We kind of have to have direct-to-garment. I don't really like it, but I
Just
think we
being honest, dude.
we would have lost a lot of clients without it, for sure. Because we've got 2 DTGs now, and, it sucks, but it's kind of necessary nowadays.
Yep. And I was watching the video that you posted on I don't know if you posted it or if it was maybe Ryonet or somebody posted it, but it was your video, screen printing versus direct-to-garment. And it really breaks down on how, the types of blends that you could get versus, dot for dot registration, trying to, make dots into a perfect blend. You really have like a crazy amount of things that you can accomplish on direct-to-garment versus screen printing.
Yeah,
which
for sure.
I always recommend screen printing if we have the correct file, if we have good file for a good brand. Always for, cost efficiency, for production time, turnaround. We always recommend screen printing, but like you said, there's those times where, you would end up losing a job if you didn't have direct-to-garment.
Yeah, we were doing, do you know H3H3? They, like, Ethan and Gila, they do YouTube stuff.
I think so.
Anyway, they've got a pretty big following, and one of their biggest videos was a vape, like, comedy video.
Uh-huh.
And it got like 20 million views or something crazy. And so they wanted to do vape shirts, but the problem was it was like this video, it was a picture from a YouTube video of a guy like smoking a vape. So we ended up doing like 1,500 DTGs because no matter what we did screen printing, you just couldn't like get vape smoke to look good. So
yeah, exactly.
It's one of those things where it's like 1,500 DTG is so slow, but you just kind of have to say yes.
Yeah, and I mean, and the thing about screen printing is when you go higher up on those units, I don't know, we only have one direct-to-garment machine and one guy that runs it, so we don't really, it's hard for us to be competitive versus those guys who have 20 direct-to-garment machines. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Us being so new to it, we can't really give those price breaks, even if you're doing 1,500 units. I mean, we could definitely get your price down, but not to where, some of these guys can really get the pricing down on those bigger units because their turnaround time,
Yeah, like Dream Junction, from what I understand, is just doing thousands of units a day DTG. So they're...
Oh, yeah.
I mean, it's a totally different level of production when they do that. And the machines are so different. Like, we have the Epson and the Brother. Both have, like, their own flaws. But, like, even if we're doing good, it's, like, maybe 20 an hour per machine. If you're running, like, on a $200,000 Cornet, then it's a totally different game.
Yeah.
And I'd rather buy 2 Rock Ecos for $200,000 than one Cornet.
I agree.
I'd rather have 2 autos than one amazing DTG machine. I mean, I just don't feel like even the amazing ones, they can't put out the same volume. Like, they can't even put out, like, a fifth of the volume.
No, and like I was trying to say before, it really, I mean, even if you're doing plastisol printing, with additives, and the correct separations, if you really spend your time with it, and the customer understands artwork and understands screen printing and the things that you can achieve, you can really achieve a great print. Like we've done stuff that is hand-to-hand comparable to direct-to-garment. We printed Aaliyah, a big job for Aaliyah, who passed away, the singer, for Forever 21, and I mean, it looked just like her. I mean, just like her. We had even the QC team was like, wow, that's, you guys really nailed that print.
Did you do it CMYK or did you do it simulated?
We did it simulated, so it was on a dark garment. Mm-hmm. So we weren't able to. I mean, I never print CMYK on dark garments.
Yeah, whenever people try to put it on a white base, I don't think the quality is very good. We always do simulated.
Yeah, I mean, especially if you're going on a dark garment, that's just what I recommend. But yeah, there's a lot of things that you could achieve. That's always going to be the question in the future. Where can direct-to-garment go now Now they're doing the hybrid machines that have, the digital squeegees from M&R. Like, those presses are crazy. They're taking screen printing and direct to garment and smashing it into a ball and trying to roll with it. So
Yeah,
it's really crazy to think where the future will go with this stuff.
It's interesting to try to figure out how to future-proof yourself, because
Yeah.
I've always felt like with DTG, it feels like I wouldn't be surprised if next year a game-changing machine came out. It's just I haven't seen it yet.
I agree.
Like, I wouldn't be surprised.
Have you seen the GTX? Do you have the GTX?
No, I've played with it, but I'm still running my 381.
Okay. Yeah, because the GTX is pretty crazy how it comes out. It prints a white base and it prints a CMYK all in one. Mm-hmm. So it doesn't take time to come out and go back in and pass back out.
I would be interested in finding somebody that did inline pre-treat like a Cornette on a lower level machine. If there was an inline pre-treat on like a $35,000 DTG machine, that would be so dope.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, versus that extra pass, you know what I mean? You're taking away the whole section of taking a guy and putting the shirt on the pre-treatment, just the time to load, and then to unload, and then to press, all that stuff, seconds equal minutes and minutes equal hours at the end of the week. So
yeah, for sure.
That's why I really think that we're gonna always stay screen print driven. I mean, it's more of a task, obviously, if you're gonna try and accomplish a great print, it takes a little more, but in the end, the cost efficiency, the turnaround times, that's what's really gonna make or break us, is if we're able to complete those big orders and we're able to manufacture everything on time with a good result. Our customers, them growing depends on us growing. So I've had orders.
Talk a little bit about those those orders for like Forever 21 and Zumiez. How are you building those relationships, and then how are you dealing with what I'm guessing is like unbelievably thin margins?
Oh yeah. So the way that I've been lucky enough, to start, and I've been very blessed to start at a very young age to be able to, follow a lot of print shops, a lot of people down to, Ryonet. I'm completely into the industry, so it's actually led me to a lot of business owners, a lot of shop owners, people who are really willing to give you a minute of their time and really give you a chance,
Yeah.
So that, with that being said, I was able to meet some really cool brand owners. I locked down Forever 21. I was actually working at a print shop, and I wasn't feeling fulfilled. I felt like, I was printing on the presses there, and I had my own equipment. I had my own clients, but I just felt like there needed to be something more. So I ended up quitting my job on a Friday, and I ended up landing Forever 21 that following Monday. So it was literally like a weekend of just like,
what?
Dude, what am I going to do? Like, I got to get myself
Forever
together.
21? Did you steal them from the first shop?
Oh, no way, no.
Oh,
even,
okay.
I mean, integrity to the fullest. I've had clients, I ran production at a shop for 6 years, and I've had clients that come to me and been like, hey, can you show us pricing? And like, I'm adamant to not even show them pricing, because I know they do broker work with the print shop that I used to do. And I just, I don't need to go there. I don't need to steal nobody's work. I understand, it's a tough industry, and you could lose an account over, a penny or a quarter,
Yeah.
which is real unfortunate. But I just don't want to be that shop that prides myself off of just stealing people's work for the cheapest price.
Yeah, right.
So
it was how did you go and land Forever 21? Did you meet them cold, or did you already know someone over there?
Well, I had a friend who I did production for before. He owns a brand out of Los Angeles, and we were gonna get into like some sublimation. I bought a sublimation machine. We were doing socks, and it was kind of like a business venture. And we had been talking to each other. And once I quit my job, I was like, I really need to do something fulfilling.
Mm-hmm.
What can I do? So I started making those phone calls, started reaching out to the big owners and the stuff, to those people that I knew, and was kind of just like, hey, a leap of faith, like give me a chance. And he was like, you want to do Forever 21? Like you're gonna have to have a sample tonight. It was a 7-color print. Like I had to go down, pick up shirts on a tray. Like it was just like almost an impossible task,
Yeah.
from what it seemed to be. But I had a sample the same exact night. We nailed it. We got the strike off, and I fulfilled Forever 21 within 3 days.
How many
and
units
that was
that one?
It was 9,000 prints. So it was 4,500 t-shirts, 7-color front with a neck label inside.
Sweet. And how many people were on your team to do that? Did you do it?
It was me and 2 guys.
Crazy.
Me and 2 guys. I ran the press full time. I had an unloader and I had a stacker.
How often are they doing those kind of orders with you now?
Forever 21, not so much. We really stepped up our game with the Zumiez though.
Yeah.
I mean, we're doing Zumiez on the monthly. This is probably our 3rd or 4th Zumiez within the last 30 days. Orders that we've done. And
how did you get in contact with them?
Through another friend, another brand that we work for. He's seen, he follows me on social media, one of my good friends now, and he reached out to me, and his brand is actually in Zumiez. And he reached out to me and was like, hey man, can you fulfill a short run order? It's last minute, it's for a promotional event for Zumiez. And I was like, yeah, of course. Mm-hmm. So we came through. It was a real simple 1-color print, just like white ink on the front of some black hoodies and stuff. He liked the print. We did neck labeling and fulfillment for him. And it kind of led to, a bigger thing. And now we're printing for, multiple brands in Zumiez.
That's awesome. Are you doing e-commerce fulfillment, or are you just sending it to their warehouses?
We're not doing anything for them like drop shipping.
Yeah.
But we are doing, some of the stuff goes on their e-commerce and some of the stuff goes indoors.
Oh, okay.
So the last order that we just did was actual all doors Zumiez. Our first time doing all the doors.
Wow.
Which was pretty exciting to think, these are just brands that are growing as well. So the more they grow, the more we grow.
So how much staff do you have now?
We're just a small team, dude. It's just me and 2 employees.
Oh, wow. So you guys are just you don't even really have shop roles barely then. Like you don't have a shipping manager or anything.
Yeah, I do everything, man. I ship. I'm customer service. I'm the lead pressman. I have another guy who's my right-hand man. He does everything. We worked at a shop together for 6 years. I ran production there. And when I left, he ended up leaving like 6 months later. And, he's, a really good friend of mine. So it just made like really good sense to have him aboard when he left.
Yeah, that's cool. So what's your plan now? I mean, are you trying to double every year, or are you trying to kind of...
Oh, yeah, for sure. Well, within the last... It's been kind of scary, to be honest. The last 6 months, we've grown, faster than I would have expected, but sometimes it's a scary leap because we got into a new building and we tripled our size of square footage, so... I mean, the months where it's slow, I really got to work hard to make it happen.
So you're trying to grow pretty fast, but it seems like it's happening naturally. How big is your new building?
We went from, I built a shop at my parents' house. It maybe I'd say 3 years ago about, and we were in about 400 square foot with a manual press and a small dryer. And then I eventually moved into my first actual shop, which was about, I want to say in March of this year. So maybe 6 months ago, 7 months ago, give or take. We moved into an 800 square foot. And then since then, it's just been growing rapidly. And now we're in a 2,400 square foot, which still seems really small. But I mean, compared to what we had, it's really nice.
That's kind of what we did, though. Once we went auto, everything got insane. So we went from a manual shop that was 1,100 square feet to 7,000 square feet.
Wow.
An auto. There was no in between. So
that just seems so crazy.
Yeah, like our sales like tripled because when we were a manual shop, we probably did like about 400 that year, like 400,000 ish that year. And then when we went
Uh-huh.
auto, we like tripled in that 1 year.
Yeah.
So like with the
So,
right
and
clients, it just like blows you out. Like you can't even keep
yeah,
up.
yeah, and it's organic. I spend no money in SEO, no search engine optimization. I have no online website. I have nothing for e-commerce. Like, it is literally my Instagram and my Facebook page get me like 90% of my business. It's
Yeah.
crazy, man. And I
Well,
mean, those are free platforms,
I mean, you could still
you
go
know?
get a at least a cheapy website or something going, but
Oh yeah, for sure. And that's where I definitely plan. This is actually my first, like, I wouldn't say first year in business because I've owned my business. I've been organically growing my clients while I was at the last shop, just from
hmm
people that know I ran, production for 6 years. So you could imagine how many people you meet over 6 years that are in the print industry, and
yeah,
you know
right.
uh, places that I've gone, like events or showcases, whatever, and it's a place to show platform your work. And it's just crazy to think that, with a website or with the right team, somebody, to that really knows the office, that could help grow our sales. Like, I do sales, I do everything. The more we're able to branch out and give more, jobs, it'll, hopefully grow us faster.
Well, thanks so much for talking to me. And for everyone listening, thanks for checking out another podcast. We're going to have our screen printing classes again in February, right after ISS. So you can find out more information at screenprinting.com. And thanks again for listening. Bye.